Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a beautiful day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your comments, and thank you for your thumbs up. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. I love it when white people tell the truth, not because black folk don't already know it, but because sometimes the truth hits different when it comes from somebody who isn't supposed to say it. And today, a white woman told the truth about Lake Lanier and Oscarville. And baby, she told it plain. Before I play this clip, let me set the stage. Lake Lanier, the lake everybody jokes about, sits on top of a real black town called Oscarville, a community that was destroyed, emptied out, and flooded. And to this day, some people swear it's all just rumor or urban legends. But watch this. Watch how she breaks it down.
We as white folks will really do anything but take accountability and tell the truth about history and the violence that we have committed. The comments from white folks under this video in particular, who are saying that I'm lying about history and saying that there is no connection between the creation of Lake Lanier on top of Oscarville.
Those are the white people who are either in denial or they're saying, well, it isn't true, and I'm white and I say so. Everybody knows that there is a connection between Lake Lanier and Oscarville. Oscarville was destroyed in 1912 during Jim Crow, pretty much like Black Wall Street. They didn't torch the town like they did Black Wall Street, but they did burn some of the houses and they burned some of the churches and they threatened the people's lives if they didn't leave. So they basically wiped the town out. There were 1,100 black people living in that town in 1912, and 58 of them owned land. And the white people took their possessions, including their land. And this is in the state of Georgia, in case you didn't know. And it's actually just outside of Fulton County, just outside the city of Atlanta. But she's going to share some more of Forsyth County.
It's so interesting because I've also shared the segment from the 80s when the media and even Oprah Winfrey visited Forsyth County and the area, the county where Lake Lanier is in, and it was full of white supremacists trying to chase black folks out and saying black people were not allowed to live there. So even in the 80s, white people in Forsyth County around Lake Lanier openly and flagrantly fighting for segregation. And the thing is, the area was already segregated. There weren't any black people there. So that's how much they hate black folks in Forsyth County around Lake Lanier. So you're going to tell me that they lynched innocent black boys and black men, chased all the black people out, burnt their businesses and their homes down in 1912. And then in the 50s, instead of preserving this historical site of racial terror, they tried to bury it and erase it.
So the massacre of the black people happened in 1912. But Lake Lanier didn't just appear. Congress approved it in 1946, and the Army Corps built Beaufort Dam in 1956. And the government bought and flooded the 53 acres of land. That land included the remains of Oscarville, the black community that had been destroyed in 1912. So the Lake Lanier, sits on top of history, pain, and land taken twice. So that's what happened with Lake Lanier.
Oh, y'all are probably also mad that I shared that clip of my own experience a few months ago when I went to pay respects to the victims of the Oscarville massacre. I went to Lake Lanier, and the only other person at the lake where I was at that day was an older white man who was fishing, and I was asking him, because he said he was from there, what his knowledge was of what took place in Oscarville, the flooding of Lake Lanier in the 50s. And this man shouted the N word probably 20 different times after I asked him not to use that word and was inquiring why he felt so emboldened to say it. And in Forsyth County, outside the direct vicinity of the lake, I had conversations with two different Black men who were working, who did not live in Forsyth County. And they shared with me that, one, obviously they knew the history. Two, they shared that nothing had changed. The area was still extremely anti-Black, segregated, predominantly almost exclusively white, and extremely hostile and toxic for anyone who is not white.
Well, I'm just going to tell y'all something about something I know about Black people, at least most Black people. Black people don't care anything about those people up in Forsyth County. Once somebody does something like that, creating a massacre against somebody to take their property, because that's what they did it for. They did it so they could take those Black people's possessions, including their land. So once somebody does something like that, there's really nothing else to be said about them.
I say all of this to say, and I'm going to tie this up, we as white people, so many of us go to such great lengths to play mental gymnastics, gaslight ourselves, try to gaslight others despite all the historical evidence and documentation that we have, just so we don't actually have to face and reckon with our history, with our lineage, with the ways in which we benefit from the white violence that was committed by our ancestors.
You almost can't blame modern white people. I don't want that monkey on my back. I wouldn't want to know that I came from a lineage of people who would do the things to another race of people that white people have done to us. I would not want that in my lineage. I just wouldn't. So, to a certain extent, I don't blame the white people. I would just pretend it didn't happen. I don't know anything about it and just leave me alone because, that is something. And the fact of the matter is, some of them still want to fight. They want to have a race war and they want to fight us. Forsyth County committed a racial cleansing. They stole Black land, destroyed Black communities, and drove Black families out of that county. And even now, some still speak as if they want a war with us. But the Bible is clear, and y'all know I believe in the Bible. God has his own army set aside to judge nations built on bloodshed and stolen land. And that is what this country was built on. That judgment does not come from us, it comes from him. So when these white people jump up talking about Christian nationalists and Christian this and Christian that, we know that these people are not reading the same Bible we're reading.
Because what it would mean to actually reckon with our past would mean we would have to actually confront the present and do something. This is the result of generation after generation of us being disconnected from our humanity, because that's exactly what whiteness does. It separates us from our humanity, from each other, from community, and from our creator. That's why so many of us are okay moving so soulless, so shallow, and so intent and committed to erasing history and manipulating reality.
I really love this video and I love the things that this woman had to say because in reality, it does appear that they have separated themselves from humanity. See, I wouldn't want to be in a race like that. I just would not want a lineage like that. I want to see other people's humanity and I want them to see mine. And she hit the nail on the head. That's what we see with these Asian people and these Hispanic people in their effort to be white. They leave their humanity and their souls behind. It's not worth it. It's really not worth it. At least I don't think so. So shout out to the white folks who tell the truth, not because we need the validation, but because truth is contagious. And the more people say it out loud, the harder it becomes to deny. And most of all, when you tell the truth, you keep your humanity. And if that was the only reward that you got, it would be worth it. All right, y'all. Let me know what you think about the video and have a good day.